Hey everybody. So we're ready for another sprint in our task management development. So in this one, I want to talk to you about how do you get your team to use the thing, right? As well as how do you get yourself to use the thing. So you'll have your tasks in Notion dumped out, all the things you want to do. And again, that's a huge step because just telling yourself that these are the priorities, these are the things you want to do, sets up a whole chain reaction in your subconscious to orient yourself towards getting that done, right? But when we think about how do we get other people to adopt moving in the same direction, doing things together from Notion, as well as how do you get yourself to adopt simplifying your workflows, it's going to be by putting the resources you need into the thing you're already using. Again, one centralized hub. So I want to talk to you today about templates. Templates are, like I said before, or maybe I haven't yet, Notion really has two main object types. So when we think about work management, right? Notion is a place where we all started off on Office and we did most of our work in Word, Excel, and PowerPoint, right? And then some of us transitioned over to Google Workspace because Google Workspace allowed us to collaborate like never before, as well as put things up on the cloud so we wouldn't have to worry about where somebody was accessing it from, if it was on somebody else's computer, was it the most recent version. We all could collaborate on the thing and access the thing from a place that was agnostic of anyone's computer, and it was allowing us to search that file structure to be able to get what we needed, right? And the context we need for our work. So with Notion, if you were going to use Notion for task management and the resources you need were going to be on Notion as that kind of third wave of productivity management, right? Like we already made the database with the items in it, but based off of the things you're doing, you can create templates for each entry or types of entry that can recur, that can be formatted and shared to provide to other people, etc. So you now have a place, your templates to get the kind of standardization documentation necessary to do whatever you want. So, say for example, you're talking about a meeting, right? And your meeting is set up as a template in Notion. You can go up to your home and see where your AI meetings automatically go to real quick, just to make sure everything goes to one place. I'm going to go ahead and put them in tasks. Um, so I have one hub, but usually best practice is to have a separate meeting note database. But for this use case, we're just going to put everything in the most simple way to manage, right? So we have our task manager with the meeting note um, template. And all I did to create this, right, is I went to the tasks database. You can access it as a full page or as a inline database on the page, right? Because pages are made up as of blocks, and blocks are um, can be databases. They can be toggles. This is a type of block. This is a type of block. You're assembling blocks to make pages, right? So a database is comprised of individual pages that are sorted, but a page is an assembly of blocks, and databases are the main source for tracking, the main source for organizing, etc. Um, it improves security, it improves actionability, allows for automations, and one of the automations is a template. And so if you wanted to make a new meeting template, I already had an example that you just saw, but let's do this one. So if you're an interior designer, right, and you have a kickoff call meeting that you need to put on with your client work, right? And you tell yourself that you're just going to make it the day that you do it, or automate to that. Um, and then we're going to be assembling our blocks now, our page, which is underneath the content line, right? And so on the right side, we put the meeting. And then on the left side, we put the heading. So maybe we have the agenda here. We have the questionnaire. I like to use heading 2 for this so that I can be able to use this kind of jumping table of contents to get to wherever I need. Questionnaire, right? You can use the dash button to create a block that is a dividing line between. And so if the agenda usually for the kickoff call is going to be to assess the space. Got to work on my setup to make it easier for me to type. Assess the project, clarify the process, and uh, collect data. So this is the goal, right? You can put this into AI, generate a set of questions for a kickoff reading questionnaire bank with for dedicated to, and AI will be able to assess from there. So instead of having a script for your overall team, you have some questions. They're coming up. And then we're just going to hit the plus sign to add them in. Kickoff call questionnaire bank. Right. We also can ask it to generate checklist for a material kick off project. Kick off using so while AI is running, the idea being is that you've already done this work, right? And yeah, AI is kind of generating some of this content for us, but you might already have your processes written out that are unique to you, right? And so what you can do then is say, okay, I'm going to answer my mom. All right, everybody. So I pasted in copy and paste in the project kickoff call checklist. And actually, I want to just put that. So this is the questionnaire on this side. Put this and see how I'm selecting and moving this. Something there, and I copy that and I put that here. So you have your checklist, and then the things you need to do and the questions, the ways you can ask them, and the recording. And then now that you have the framework, once everything is done, you can analyze using AI this transcript based off of the questionnaires, the checklist. If you don't want all of this, you can put that somewhere else, so you can turn this into a page that might be a reference item that you just put on as a link on this page. So we just moved all that information onto the page, mention it, and now we just put it onto the start page. Um, and then we say, okay, two resources. Boom. And for formatting, we just want everything to be consistent. Yeah. And now we have a simple template with the interior design kickoff call checklist on it. And so when you're saying, okay, I have a kickoff call for this client, you can either A, go ahead and click on it from here under your templates, and you'll have all of this to reference, right? Or B, you can make it ahead of time and then, you know, schedule it where you want to. But this will allow you to standardize, and you can put all types of things in here. So if you are a manager, and you have onboarding tasks that you want your onboarding to include, right? um you can, I got this from a template from somebody, in excuse me, in terms of the content. So, you know, this could be an overview of all of the different things that you have to do when you're onboarding somebody. If you have a high rate of um, onboarding that you want to standardize, you can make something recurring. So like I put in here a phone bill. This is a template that I created. All I did was say, okay, I'm going to pre-select the office as where this is going to go under, the cost of it, the priority of going to pay my phone bill, who it's going to be assigned to, so it can be me, and then the priority, right? And then in the template, I choose the day. So up here it says if it's every month on the 20th day, and then I hit save. If I change it, it'll allow me to save. I can discard that change. But this will allow you to do your recurring tasks through a template, right? Um, if you need to do analytics to pull for a program you're doing every single week and come up with a scorecard, you can design it or link the one you already made here. So if all of the resources and reference items and outputs are being put on pages, and then the templates are in the are where you find the standard operating procedures, not to just reference, but to actively go in on the checklist for the tasks that you're doing, then you're more likely to get people to actually use the tool. So if your checklist for your construction team to close out the HVAC is on here, if your if you put a video onto the task that says how to close out the um month, right? And it has the information and then a linked video to a YouTube or a Vimeo, right? And it's like, okay, this is what we did. This is how you do it. Um, you can better not only analyze it from a AI perspective, because it'll have the transcript from calls or something, right? But it also allows you to not have people wasting time looking around, essentially, for the things that are necessary for them to do their job or to communicate with the context that they need, etc. So templates are really powerful. They are accessed through this on the side of the new button, or if you open a page that's blank, you can add a new template down here. You can assign a template to a page you create by adding new page and then clicking on this list of pre-made templates that are the exact same as this one. And then templates also allow you to make them recur. So a template can have, in this case, um, already assigned filters, already assigned selections and dates, etc. So they're really powerful and simple to understand way of getting yourself to do the thing you want yourself to do without having to start from zero, but also encouraging the behavior of people to follow the process and communicate um their their feedback or their meeting notes or whatever they're building as a part of your business. I hope this was helpful. In the next one, we're going to be going over using different pages for different views of of data, which is going to be also really helpful for teams. So I will see you all there.